Today on Business Success in Six with Stacie, I have Sarah Pallas here from Cellar District in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Sarah, thanks for jumping on.
Thank you so much for having me.
It is my pleasure. Looking forward to asking you some questions about Cellar District and sharing it with our viewers, our clients, and community. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. When people ask you what Cellar District does, what it is, how do you describe your business?
So we are a full service restaurant, obviously serving food and drinks and the normal thing you would like to see at every restaurant establishment in the area. Biggest difference is our location. We are built in an old church in 1913. And then we focus a lot on our community and what they wanted to see. As far as local offerings, we try and use local farmers, local breweries and distilleries, and really make it a unique experience once you walk through the giant red church doors to begin with.
That just sounds inviting right there, like just checking out a cool restaurant in an old church. So tell me a little bit more about what your plans were when you started your business. I know you talked to me before, and it's a unique story. You've got a business partner. Let's talk about how you started and how your plans have changed.
Yeah, so Brandy, my business partner, and I have both worked in the industry and actually at the same location for about 15 years. We had both left the industry. She went into aesthetics and I went into sales and finance. And we both kind of found ourselves being called back into the industry. So again, back to that same restaurant. And just after quarantine had happened in Wisconsin, just after it was listed, she had come up and said, "Are you ready?" So we had started looking. We looked at multiple different locations. We had a realtor. We found a location outside of Fond du Lac, and we're ready to sign papers when we had gotten a phone call from somebody with the city of Fond du Lac, and they had basically told us this vast building, this beautiful church, was vacant, and they wanted somebody to go into it and recreate it as a restaurant again. So we took a look around, we walked through it, and knew that this was our location. So the business plan that we had already developed, the idea that we had already come up with, we had changed over a cup of coffee about 20 minutes later and got the ball rolling on our new business plan.
I love that. And what you also shared with me, your unique relationship with your business partner, Brandy, as well. Tell us a little bit about your business relationship. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, so that was one of the biggest questions that we get from people or have gotten from people since the beginning is, how are you guys going to do in a partnership? Because you do hear a lot of things about partnerships not working. And even our banker had asked us, how are you guys going to deal with the stress of owning a business when you're friends? And that's one of the biggest things we get is, are you two friends? And we always say no, because we don't hang out outside of work. We don't call each other. We don't go shopping or go get dinner or anything. We arrive to work, and even though we do know everything about each other because we are in front of each other for 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, once we leave, that's it. It's all work, and it's no further friendship from that. And our communication has only grown stronger since then. And I think that the dynamic just being so unique really helped us kind of thrive in this industry too.
Absolutely. I just thank you for sharing that. I think that's so unique. I think that's so special. And I think it's really healthy in a lot of ways to have those boundaries. So
Yeah.
so it's not mixing over all the time. So especially in a challenging industry like the restaurant industry, where you do have those 12 to 14-hour days, and it's not like 5 o'clock and you just shut down and walk away. So I think that's
Mhm.
very interesting for people to hear. So thank you.
Yes.
So Sarah, you talk about community. What is the biggest way you impact the community? And if you want to share how you listen to the community as well, I'd love for you to expand upon that.
Absolutely. So when we first started out, we did a lot of social media posting and kind of teasers that we were looking. Prior to this restaurant, Brandy and I have always been very big in the community, whether it was going to city council meetings regularly, volunteering our time. We both worked with the fire department and police department. Ruby's Pantry, we volunteered at a couple of times, or just toy drives, things like that. So we knew that we wanted to really engage with the community as we move forward in our own business. A lot of social media postings and just asking people what they wanted to see in a new restaurant. So what kind of dishes? One of the biggest ones was vegetarian options. A lot of restaurants offer a salad with a protein already on it, and you don't get that cost taken off if you take the protein off, versus we did the salads without a protein with an extra charge if you wanted it. So that was kind of one of the recommendations we had gotten from the community that we said, that's a great idea. Let's roll with that. We had done a Facebook Live, same thing. We expected it to last about 10, 15 minutes. It lasted over an hour and a half with what
No
everybody wanted to
way.
do. Yeah.
That is
So,
so cool.
yep, we had a good friend of ours who actually still works for us now, who was typing away and answering everyone's questions and kind of letting us know. And it was such a great event too, and really having that support of everyone around us. And we still continue to work with the fire department, the police department. We do a toy drive every year. We just worked with the fire department on a couple different things this past month. We had 2 items with them, or 2 events with them that we were able to help out with. So it's really about just focusing on, Fond du Lac is a small, big town, and you really want to keep everyone in a mindset that we can all work together and be happy moving forward in whatever we're doing.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that you're involved in so many different things. And I think it's just so fabulous that you are listening to your community, because so many business owners think, well, this is my idea and this is my vision and this is what I want. But not necessarily that's what everybody else wants. So that's really
Right.
cool that you do that.
Yeah.
So I actually want to, I know we talk about community, you're an employer as well. And this isn't a question that I normally ask, but you've been in the industry, you've worked in the industry so long, and you take really good care of your full-time employees and part-time employees. Did you want to just share a little bit about how you're serving the community with your employees as well?
Absolutely. So like you said, being in the industry for so long had taught us a lot going through it and what we wanted for not only ourselves, but for our staff as well. So serving or the restaurant industry isn't necessarily a normal job for the front of house yet. We really wanted to focus on making it more of a full-time normal position. So we do offer our full-time employees benefits, paid time off, health care. And then as far as just making it a job they want to come to. So knowing that we're always going to be there, whether it's both of us or one of us, we're always going to be there to kind of jump in and help out. Listen to them. We developed an open door policy right from the get-go that there is no knocking on our office door. You can barge right through and talk to us, and developing just a happy atmosphere. This industry is so stressful, and you're dealing with so many different personalities in the middle of it. You're not eating before 9 p.m. because you have to serve everyone else. And so we really wanted to make it an environment that people could thrive. Something that, and a great example is one of our girls here, she has 3 kids. She's able to still participate in the kids' sports and their school events and still make a living wage to be able to provide for them as well, which is incredible to hear.
Absolutely. That definitely is. Well, thank you for just expanding upon that a little bit. I know that's not one of the questions, but I thought it was really important that you share that with our viewers and our community.
Absolutely.
So what is one challenge that you have faced that other business owners could learn from? So you opened up in, was it 2020 or was it 2021?
It was 2021.
Okay. What month and what challenges have you faced in the past couple of years?
Sure. So we came into this building in July of 2021, and it was empty. So they had taken everything out except structure-wise, it was still pretty much here. There was some minor things like light bulbs. We couldn't find all of the light switches. And if you can imagine in an enormous church, there was a lot of light switches to find. We couldn't find them all. So something simple like that. But there was actually a stainless steel shortage when we first started opening up. So we knew we had to fill up the kitchen, the tables, the chairs, the bar equipment. We quickly found out about the stainless steel shortage, and even faster found out about the delivery driver shortage at the time. Oh. So it was a lot of finding used equipment or ordering things online that would get stuck in a warehouse. And Brandy and I would have to find the warehouse somewhere in the state of Wisconsin. Often we rented U-Haul trucks, sometimes 2 a day, to go and pick up the items that we had found and bring them back to the restaurant. So even with all those challenges, we were still able to open in October of 2021. So it only took a few months to get everything done.
Wow, huge challenges, but that is incredible. What a great story. So my next question for you is, what does the future look like to Cellar District, and do you have an exit plan?
We've spoken about an exit plan since the beginning. We have not followed through on any of the ideas that we have. So currently we are leasing the building. We wanted to see kind of what it all held within it, since it had stayed vacant for about 6 months. It had been a church before we came back in. So we really wanted to learn more about the building, chose to lease for the first 5 years. We want to continue Cellar as a place that stays a staple within Fond du Lac. And that's one of the biggest things we ask our employees when we interview them as well, is what is your 5-year plan? Do you plan on having your own place in the future? Is there something that we can teach you or you can learn from us? Are we looking for somebody to take over what we've built and run with it from there, either buy it from us or have them manage and have us move on to the next thing? So there are a lot of ideas in the works, but we are still babies. We're still a year and a half here. And this is our focus right now, and making sure that we can create a successful environment for whomever might want to take it over or might want to lead the group, or the staff that might just want to work together as they lead. So
love that you ask your employees, what's your 5-year plan? I think that's huge, because it opens up for conversation. It just said, okay, who are you? What do you want to do in the future? And then at the same time, it does serve you and benefit you in several ways. Is this the kind of person we want to work here? But is there opportunity for them to take this over someday? So really great question. Thank you for sharing that. And my final question for you, Sarah, is all subjects open? What inspires you most?
Honestly, it's the support that we've gotten from everyone around us, whether it's the staff and how often they actually text us and engage with us and tell us good job. And don't get me wrong, there have been some staff that we've had some issues with, as you normally would in a business as well. But taking that opportunity to learn, and even seeing the staff afterwards kind of grow from that opportunity. The community, the city being able to support us the way they did. We actually won a couple of awards when we first opened. One was the best new business in Fond du Lac. And awesome. From there, thank you. From there, we weren't aware that the city of Fond du Lac had actually nominated us to the state level, and we had won the state level as well. So
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was an amazing surprise when they had first told us about the city award. We were thrilled. And within that same sentence, she said, and we nominated you for state and you won as well. So it was a very casual conversation for them, but just having that support that they would do something like that without even our knowledge about what was going on was phenomenal. And it really does drive us to kind of keep going, even from, like I said, if there was that one bad apple in the group, or days that were tired or slow days, or if we got a bad review, how we learn from that versus just getting down upon ourselves and learning more. And honestly, each other. Brandy and I are both very competitive in our nature, and we're very competitive with each other. We've always said it makes us better. So instead of just focusing on who's going to be better, both of us end up becoming a better leader, a better person, more involved, and it works out really well.
Love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that's huge. Our coaches talk all the time about challenging yourself in that comfort zone and making sure that you're not just sitting in that comfort zone, because that's not when you grow. So if you and Brandy are able to grow each other by challenging each other because you are competitive, all of them are inspiring. So cool, Sarah. Thank you so much. Looking forward to coming up to Cellar District and trying the great food and seeing the great culture in that beautiful building. If there
Absolutely.
If people want to come in and taste the food or have a drink, what's the best way for them to get connected?
Yeah, so we actually do work on reservations. We're one of the few places in Fond du Lac that do work on reservations. So right on our website, cellardistrict.com, you can book a reservation. Otherwise, follow us on social media. Any Facebook or Instagram is where you're going to see a lot of our new daily specials. If we've got new drinks coming or new food ideas coming, and even special events. Right now, we're working with Drink Wisconsinably, Brandy, and working on an old-fashioned dinner pairing in July. So we've got a ton of different events coming up as well. So always just follow our social media.
That is awesome. Thank you so much today for your time, Sarah. Good luck. Congratulations on doing great things.